It was such a grueling climb for Onic ID from a shaky performance in the group stages, climbing and climbing again in the playoffs, knocked down by TLID, beating them by 1 game in the lower bracket finals to then meet the gods of the game, getting 2-0 in the first 2, and now, finally, on a comfort pick on Suns. They must stabilize. They must look to pull up a fight here.
And they start by setting up in the early. Game 1 and 2, the early game belonged to the Super family. Now, they're holding their ground, and they could do that by securing the buffs, by having priority in the lanes, and by threatening early damage, and luckily they have the kit to do just that. Brusco kicked out of the fence brush here. Keyboy on the Jawhead. It's been a while since Keyboy actually got his hands on a Jawhead, especially in such a high-profile matchup as this. And yeah, this is a better start than ever in this series. It's best of 7. Onic Esports up by like 100, 200. First time in a while.
First time in a while, but it is kind of expected with a Martis and a Jawhead. They will just have so much more kill pressure in the early game. And for Onic Philippines, it's about waiting and, you know, weathering the storm.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what it's about just yet because we don't see the Matilda and Novaria in the same draft, not as often. So we're still looking for the synergy. We're still looking for what Onic PH's winning image is against Onic Esports' draft, because so far game 1 and 2 have been on point. For this one, they got a little abstract on us. First turtle spawned, lower quarter. First of the scene, of course. The team with priority. Superfin sent home.
There you go. Onic ID finally with the control over turtle number 1. This could be their first turtle in the series. All of the games before this, it has been Onic Philippines dominating from turtle 1. And there you go. Onic Esports finally get their first turtle in the grand finals.
Up by 500 gold. They've made all the right decisions so far in the first 2.5 minutes of the game. Onic PH, we've still yet to see what they bring on an offensive level, because we know that they're good at dodging real-world manipulations. We know that they're good sustaining these team fights, and we know that eventually, when it gets down to it, when we're playing in the paint, Kelra should still win against Savero. But we're not at that point just yet.
Nope. Not just yet. And for Onic Philippines, again, it might just be a case of them weathering the storm. They know exactly how much Onic Esports' composition can snowball. With Keyboy in the Jawhead, with a Martis too, it would just be, you know, the smarter option to not fight for the first few neutral objectives, to wait for King Kong to reach some power spikes, maybe defensive power spikes actually, to deal with the crazy damage that will be a part of Onic Esports' win condition in that early game.
I hear ya. Patience is key for the first time in this grand finals. Onic PH taking it slow. A couple of items being built here, key items. Still nothing fully built just yet. A couple of war axes for Kirk and King Kong. For Kyrie, though, already a Hunter's Strike. He is up on King Kong by about 100 gold. And yeah, this is good news for all the Indonesian Sonics, is he's on the same level now. So he's getting a healthy amount of farm. Propping up for this second turtle. Lower quarter still, the ejector on a Kirk.
Kirk goes into beast form, has the vengeance, still gets Kirk called and melted down by Lutpi on the CC. The winning matchup for Onic ID. Now 900 gold lead, back down to 700 as Onic Philippines look to trade up top. Savero, good read into this, will stay in the bushes, soaking up a bit of the minion waves. Last hitting, and the rest of the team comes to help him out. But Kelra has done a lot of damage already to that turret shield.
Won't be able to mirror that play on to Kirk down bottom. Call it a losing matchup. I'd say any 4v1 is a losing matchup, Mirko. And they will convert that into a turret and a turtle. Still nothing on the board for Onic PH. Lutpi kicking Brusco out of that brush.
Onic Esports, so far they've done amazing for themselves here. Astral Echo, though, will reveal 2 Keyboy. No crazy flanks, and Onic Philippines take back control over the turtle. Star Shadow coming down, retreat battle. Kyrie wins it now with a Mortal Coil, jumping on the Kirk, has the Vengeance, King Kong curtain called, but it's the guiding win to get them out. Still, though, Kirk retaliating a bit with some damage back again. No casualties in that skirmish.
In the first 5 minutes, Onic PH are still somewhat comfortable fighting within the real-world manipulation. Once Sans gets a few more items, then maybe that'll change. Currently 2,000 gold ahead. Onic Esports are enjoying this time in the early game. Post laning, Onic PH can only get one turret, and that is tier 1 down bottom. So Kirk recovering very well. It seems like it's Kelra who now has to find farm elsewhere. Savero takes that tier 1 on top.
Yep, good deny to the minion wave, or to that cannon minion too. Just waiting for the last hit there for the Lord, and now finally shoving back in again. So at least with Kelra leaving that lane, he will also be punished by it. Onic Esports steadily growing this lead now.
The Sky King does secure himself an orange buff on the opposite side of the map. So that's Grand Theft Orange for Onic Esports, allowing them to barrel forward once more. 2,500 gold now as King Kong is now on the back foot. Shoes on the other foot, this time looking for an engage. Astral Echo started up.
No, circling Eagle from Brusco, back and forth still. No commitment down. Oh, Kirk just dives in. Mortal Coil defensively. Almost. Kirk finding the angle, the ejector to pull him back though. And Keyboy flickers out into the RWM, the safe space. Lutpi gets caught by the Star Shatter, and it ends up being Kirk traded for nothing. A 0-0 stat line for the XP of Onic Philippines.
Almost, but not quite. You're seeing now what Onic PH might be planning for. Started with an Astral Echoes, so that means Kirk's beast form will bite down onto more targets, short range, and then eventually will hit more once he hits the Shockwave Blast, but there's not enough items on Onic PH just yet. They're feeling really the tremors of the 3K gold lead.
Great Spear of Alpha though, the ejector comes in again. Kirk decimated by Kyrie in return. Astral Echo still on Kyrie. King Kong for the retreat battle. Now Kyrie jumps into the Mortal Coil, still wins it out. Zaman Force from Kelra. Good disengage from Onic Esports.
Surgical. If you ask me, that's a mirrored play. Onic PH did the very same thing against Onic Esports in a game or two past this series. They could have won more, but they decided, you know what, we'll take the turtle, we'll take one kill, and then we'll back off. Now the orange once again threatened away from King Kong, and he's not even nearby. He's all the way down, taking buff after buff, camp after camp, slowly but surely. Quick update, King Kong is down 1,000 gold now. 1,000 gold.
But XP-wise, he's not that far behind, right? Just a half, almost, of a bar behind of Kyrie. As he gets his orange buff, it will be a bigger lead for Kyrie. But still, quite impressive. Astral Echo Savero gets the help of Keyboy with the ejector. It's actually Onic Philippines who are stopping Onic Esports. And again, Kirk is actually still shoving down below. So they'll have an extra wave to play with. Kirk will just continue the push down below. Might be a tier 2 taken. Wait, is he going to sacrifice his life for this?
No, he's not. There's a wave coming through.
Well, he is.
Let's see. It's just Kyrie he's seeing so far. Kyrie and Savero pincer maneuver on the Kirk.
The sacrifice for the tier 2. The Decimate, it's to buy space, I guess, for Kelra up top to get farm as well. He knows there's not really that big of a bounty on him. He is 0-3, or was 0-3 before that death. So not that much gold given for what they can get back.
Now the math checks out. So instead of pushing through
Calculated
the 4K
death.
gold lead, yeah, he instead keeps it down to a manageable 2,500, 3,000. Onic PH taking the slow route here. Still, we haven't seen the payoff of this less than orthodox draft. We see some glimpses of brilliance, you know, the echoes into a Zaman Force, echoes into a Spear of Alpha, echoes into a bite from Kirk, but just not there yet. Kirk almost to his Thunderbelt here. All this while Lutpi, having the time of his life, has both War Axe and the Brute Force Breastplate. I understand why Onic can't really just dive in and, you know, keep himself in the fight. You have to respect Lutpi.
You really do. Lutpi starting to deal damage. Irithel as well. Savero constantly just scaling up, becoming a threat as we get into the mid-game. 9 minutes in. Onic Philippines still trying to get King Kong to level 13 to match up against Kyrie on the Retribution. Keyboy, Conceal, Guiding Wind to respond.
Lord now down to a fifth of its health, a 10th, and there's an ejector.
Vengeance there as well. Mod Force coming out. Kelra still go back and forth, and now it's Kirk with a kill back. Lord slain by Kai, but they lose 3 members. Savero gets a kill, but it's only onto the roamer in Brusco. A Star Shatter from Super Prince, and a mid lane tier 1.
Suddenly the snap. This is the moment Onic PH was setting up for.
Oh,
the fact
my
that Onic
goodness.
Esports could not get to Kelra, could not shut down the Filipino Savage. made all the difference. Look at that, tier 2 all the way in, plus an orange for King Kong. Call it a plot twist.
In case you guys were thinking, you know, it's a bit of copium that we were talking about weathering the storm, not playing for, you know, the early objectives. Here's the result, waiting for the power spike, waiting to get over Onic Esports. Oh, power spike! The burst from Kelra! And the Star Shatter perfectly balanced by Super Prince and Kelra.
Ironic that we were just saying respect Lutpi, but Lutpi did not respect the range of Onic PH's engagements. Sure, they did lose a tier 2 up top, but just the same, the fight continues. Zons!
Kelra goes in, the RWM is nothing to Kelra. Kyrie forced to run away, 2 members down. Keyboy concealed defensively, Kirk is chasing him down. The ejector used to run away, and now it's Onic Philippines who are calling the shots.
Minor objective scored by Onic Esports here, that Holy Shield popped down bottom, given there is just about a minute left before those collapse. Check out the item builds here. Slowly but surely, Onic PH are now winning across 3 different lanes. Still a little bit in the catch-up for King Kong to do, as Onic Esports' jungler, Kyrie, is winning up on that front, about 200, 300 gold. But this is a very specific way of jungling. Onic PH showing us versatility. Onic PH showing us that it's not just about the stomps, not just about going max speed, not just letting it rip. They can also play a very calculated play style. This is what Onic PH is doing with this draft.
The 4,000 gold lead that Onic had for the majority of this game is completely gone. It has gone back to Onic Philippines' pockets. And now it's a 10 gold lead for Onic Philippines. That Lord advantage was catastrophic.
Negative gains.
Negative 2k on the board. The turret damage, at least they were able to get some structures. Rose gold for Kyrie. This is a completely different Martis from what we've seen earlier, you know, in this tournament, in the Challenge Finals playoffs. It is, by the way, still Kyrie going for Hunter Strike BOD before that Rose Gold Meteor, so he's still packing a punch. But as we get towards the later stage, that punch will decay.
Yep, they have to understand that Kelra is now ready to rumble.
Ow.
Brusco is ready to weave in and out his cores. And Super Prince is also sniping from downtown. Super Prince is rocking a lantern, a book, and the wand. So even Keyboy can't really check waves anymore, can't check bushes. Oh, massive Astral Echoes revealing 3.
Kelra diving in alone again. Kelra continues. Has the concentrated energy. Will get another. It's a double for Kelra. It's a triple kill for Kelra. And he's going wild. Another one as he goes in for the dash. A maniac for Kelra.
I can smell a savage. I can smell a savage. And he doesn't get it. Super Prince instead scores the final one.
Bow down to the god in the gold lane. Kelra has taken control of everything.
The god had to fold to the monster as the final touch is put onto the base. Onic Philippines at match